Oh, hi guys, how's it going? Oh man, something just flew in my eye. Holy crap. Man, let me turn you around as soon as I can see. Okay. Hi, how you doing? Long time no see. I'm still here. Still here, still me. Okay. So, this is about the hopping, Mom. This is about the hopping. Look at that magnetic connection. Hi, Kim. What's up, Kim? Okay. See the same shapes over and over again. The V is a part of it, the chevron. Hi, bird. What I was looking at was this thing coming up to the sun because I think it's going to be spectacular from my past experience. But look, we got a whole delia. It is exciting times. There's so much going on, and honestly, it ain't that bad. It ain't that bad. Times are tough, and you can't buy a steak anymore. But it ain't that bad, and we're here to witness it, guys. We're witnessing these amazing things that are now being seen and discovered, not only in sky, but in space as well. We've got so much that we're going to learn here soon. I cannot wait. So if you're looking for doom and gloom and end of the world, I am not yo chick. I am not that girl. I don't see it that way. Now, could it be? Could it be? Yeah, thank you, Kim. Could be, it could. It could be doom and gloom. It could be takeover. It could be they're gonna electrically, magnetically fry our fillings, and all the metals that they've been putting in our body. No, 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 no. If they've been putting metals in the sky, I'm not saying they haven't, but I don't see this. This is not chemtrailing. Not one bit of it is chemtrailing. But if they have been putting metals in the sky, it's to balance this sucker, dealing with the magnetism of this sucker and all the little suckers that go with it. We have a lot going on. Okay, we've got I see this thing building grids in our sky. The chevron pattern that you're seeing right there in front of that guy is just grid building. It's getting from point A to point B. It's connecting 2 points. That's how an electric beast does it. Look at the sun sideways. Electric beast doesn't have legs, can't move. It's got to move by point of contact and being a conduit or along a conduit. Am I a conduit? Probably, because I am further spreading it this way and into your mind. And once it's in your mind, it's there. But you know what? I think it needs to be. I don't think that's harmful knowing. We're seekers. We want to know. It's not like I'm trying to tell Joe Schmo on the street. I don't bother with Joe Schmo or Uncle Sue. Uncle whoever. I don't bother with them. I tell you guys because you want to know. But anyway, this thing's building a grid in our sky to get from point A to point B. It needs points of contact. And you know what? What are we doing below? As above, so below. What are we doing down here? Building grids of contact. Started with the phone lines, the telegraph, the phone lines. Then we went to fiber optics. Now we're bouncing off cell towers. And in a grid pattern, we are connecting ourselves. Because I can't get to Kim. I can't talk to Kim without this thing, without a whole bing, bang, bing, bang, pinball contact, points of contact to get to Kim and Kim to get to me. We couldn't do that naturally. So we built a grid below, just like what we see above. It's no different. It's not made by chemtrails. It's not made by man. And it sure as heck isn't blue beam. Blue beam isn't going to bother with things that look like this. They would go. Now has our atmosphere been messed with in the ionization and could these beast that we see up here have been made? because of that, because of what they were doing with the messing with the weather and CERN. Yeah, yeah. But it's from the past too. That would just make it cyclical, and it brought it on. Because this isn't its first rodeo. And that's just straight up plasma. You know, it's using our atmosphere. I don't know if it's trying to be seen. I thought that would be better up by the sun. But yeah, there's a lot going on. I mean, I told you guys I work for a bank. I don't care if you're putting in cash, you're going to show your ID. They're trying to track all and every cash movement. Now, our bank doesn't push digital currency in any other way other than digitally moving your stuff around and going paperless. So, yeah, it's digital, but it's not the digital currency that we all refer to. It is digital, you know, digital banking, let's say, is what we're into. Which is all what we all know is just a pyramid scheme. It's just building upon building upon building that's not even there. Just shoving around money, it's not even there. And banks don't keep a lot of money. I mean, someone came in and wanted 60,000. That'd be a problem. That'd be a huge problem. So, it's a lot of shuffling around, is what it is. A lot of numbers. The devil's into numbers, man. So do you see these patterns? These connecting patterns? The node of connection. One's light. That one's actually dark. The more colorful one is dark. These two are probably going to come together. The one that's on the sun right now and this one. It looks more like the light. It's no different. So what else going on? Let me look at what you guys have said. I'm sorry, I've been freaking rambling. Oh, I can't see a thing, but anyway, let's see what other subjects are going on. The federalizing of the police in DC. I don't like it. You know, I know some of you guys are pro the Trump master, but if you're giving up rights and you're moving, you know, your armed forces into cities, I don't care who's doing it or how much you like them. You're giving up rights. You know, and who knows what I see a lot of, you know, people down here living off Social Security, and maybe you're going to have to go into these cities to get your Social Security and stuff. You have to have these IDs and report in. You know, it's obviously a step in the ladder of whatever they're doing or getting to. You know, this isn't the final thing. You know, they're working their way to something which is going to be like a military freaking country where you got to show that ID no matter where you go. The smart ID, that way you can be tracked. Oh, well, why were you in Tennessee, Ms. Leviner? Well, you know, when you were just in Tennessee yesterday and now you're in DC, what is that action? Explain it to us. You know, our credit cards or debit cards already do this. Yeah, police state, exactly, which is a martial law. It's a form of martial law. There's something in the Declaration of Independence or in the Constitution that says you can't occupy America. I mean, we're not that bad off. Like I said before, we can't buy a steak, but we ain't that bad. We've got people, you know. I feel safer to go out now than I did 20 years ago. So, you know, I don't understand the point. You know, DC isn't acting, this is the bug form I always talk about. DC isn't acting any different now than it ever did. In fact, it's probably better. And Baltimore, I don't even know. Baltimore's never been good. Oh, God, Baltimore's never been good. They use these events to take over. Like I've said before, 9/11 was taking over our phones, taking over our data. COVID was changing our life so that we totally rely on data and quit with a lot of our habits and a lot of our socialization. This new generation, they don't go out and meet. They don't go to bars or go to festivals. Not the majority anyway. Like we did. We were never home, never inside. We were out and about, man. With this new generation, and COVID changed a lot. I saw that. I was actually in retail at the time when COVID hit. So I saw a lot of people change their life, their routine, their everything. A lot of people did. A lot of people did. So then, COVID changed how we used our machines and our data, and we relied on our phones, and we had apps for everything so that we can be further tracked by the 9/11 BS. Not saying 9/11 is BS, just the stuff that went with it. So what's next? I've been talking about these data centers since he came out with that Stargate. I think that was the name of it. Oh gosh, now I can't remember the name of his amendment. It's a way to, everything about us is going to be in there. Oh, you have a doctor bill from 2022 that you haven't paid, and now you want to go visit. It's all going to be there. Everything with these data compilers. Why they need so much water, so much electricity. I think it's linked to what we're seeing here. So that was the bad aspect I was talking about earlier. Could it be something overtaking us? Something controlling everything? But we're willing. Oh, wow. Cool. See, that's the same thing as that. We're just looking behind. Has the same long nose, same googly eyes that you can't see. Just are seeing it from behind. This got lots of plasma around it. But anyway, so these data centers, they're going to collect everything, know everything. And we're letting them. Just let them take it, go ahead, do it, it'll be good, and we're spending all this money on it. It's going to have everything about you've ever done. Everything. Anything that's gone in a computer, it's going to be logged in. And that's the biggest weapon there is. Data, information is the most valuable source right now. Like I have this receipt thing where I log in my receipts, and I get real gift cards, real money, just for the information on what I buy, when I buy, how I buy. It's all in there. That's how important data is. They give away free crap because of it. These emojis. I don't know if I've ever talked to you guys about the emojis. These emojis are how AI, let's just call it AI because I don't want to call it anything else, how AI learned emotion, because AI is soulless. It doesn't have emotion. But it got emotion from us through emojis because we smile when we saw this, and we frown when we saw this, and we laugh when we see this. So they are learning emotion right through emojis. Oh, and a flaming heart. Well, what does that mean? Let's compare it to that. Let's do algorithms. Oh, they figure out what that means. So they're learning our emotions through emojis, and that's exactly what they're for. That's why you asked me if I put a lot of weird crap, a lot of emojis, trying to confuse the hell out of it. The hell's that girl talking about? But emojis are how AI learned our emotions. These things you do, which I've been just as guilty for on Facebook. Oh, let me show you what you're going to look like when you're 50, or whatever. Whatever they do, it goes through. It strips all your data. It strips all your likes, every emoji you've ever put on Facebook, and it compiles you within seconds. That's what this thing wants, because it doesn't have a soul. It doesn't have a preference. It doesn't have a sense of humor. It doesn't have any emotion, so it's learning ours through freaking Facebook and TikTok and every damn thing else that we partake in. And I'm not saying I'm not guilty, but that's how AI is learning us, learning emotion. Otherwise, it would have no idea if it weren't for these damn emojis that we love so damn much. But anyway, I'll probably take this down because I'm cursing. That's pretty wild, huh? It's meeting up. So I say we're watching this backwards. A lot of these actions to me seem like they're in reverse. So did you guys see that video I put out with the eclipse? That's a straight up eclipse. I've only seen that once before. I saw it in 2018. I was going to put this in the comments. I saw that in 2018, but I hadn't seen it since. I had not seen it since 2018. But that sun went just like a dot, just like it did during the 2 eclipses that I've witnessed. That big old freaking platform came up and blocked our sun for a little bit. See, same thing, long nose. It's kind of curled up at the, excuse me, the end right there. And then the eye, and the thing that comes out of the eye all the time. See that little white thing that comes out of the eye all the time, the eye. Okay, well, that's my voice telling me to shut up. But anyway, that's my view on what the heck's going on. Are we in threat? No, I do think something might be happening with whatever they're saying is coming in. Something's going to be showing. Maybe the bigger part of this that's still coming in. So something's going to happen. I am interested. I don't think it's the end or anything like that, but I do think there's going to be something interesting to see in the next 3 months. So that's my take on this. Let me think what else is going on. Atlas, that's kind of what I was talking about with the what's coming in. There's something. There's something. And what's weird is when I first came into this, I saw my first sun halo. I thought it was a sun dog. I called it a sun dog. I saw my first sun halo. And what a sun halo. And I'm just bebopping along, doing my job. I had the wonderful job of walking dogs. And what I saw in a sun halo was a big red object approaching from behind the sun, creating that ring, creating that rainbow ring around it as it got close to the sun. And that's exactly what I saw. And that's how I got on the Nibiru trail. And it reminded me, Fifth Element was not a big movie. I wasn't a big fan of it. You know, I liked it, but it didn't mean crap to me back then. But it immediately made me think of the Fifth Element, of that big, snarling red planet. It didn't scare me, but it interests me. And that's when I got on the Nibiru, Dutch sense, finding out about earth changes. That's how I got into all this, by seeing something big red approaching from behind the sun. So that being said, maybe that's what we'll see. But I think, to answer your question, I think we'll see something. I think it's going to be a big ass, whatever they keep seeing up by that moon. The face looking thing looks like it looks like my labradorite. Oh, I'm not wearing labradorite today. I'm wearing something cool though. Look at this. See everyone's into the cubes and the squares, I guess. But it's going to look like labradorite, which kind of looks like the Aurora Borealis, the northern lights. I think it's an object that looks like the northern lights, but you're going to see it traveling. You're going to see the pox in it. It's going to have pox. And I think it's going to go by the sun. I think it's going to go by us. And I think we're all going to see it. Then I think 2 months later, a month later, hold on to your seats. We're going to get some afterflow. Oh, we had a sun dog. Look at that. I was talking about a sun dog. And we get a sun dog. Tintin. So what this is, remember that feather thing that was to the right? This is that feather thing in front of the sun. It's just, we're on a ball, lit by a ball, so things look different. Things look odd. Afterflow, whatever that thing's dragging with it, and then the space wind that's going to kick up, I think it's going to affect everything. It could even make us weightless for a little while if it passes close enough. Remember that original movie way back when, Impact, where that thing was going so close to the moon that it made everybody weightless. I've never actually seen the movie. I've just seen the review of it and heard the gist. I do want to watch it. So I think if it passes close enough that we will be weightless for a little while. And I don't know how you're going to plan for that, Kim. Kim, maybe get yourself a parachute. I don't know. How do you plan for weightless? Yeah, I guess it would look like a black hole sun, that thing coming by like... Who knows? Who knows? I always thought the black hole sun was... The sun is one end of a black hole, the opposite end of a black hole. And when it starts to fall on itself, you would start to see the black of the black hole of the other end. It would start as a hole in the sun, and to get bigger and bigger, donut, donut, boom, then we got no more sun. But I think that was just the original thinking way back then in the 90s. You know, gathering all the info they could. Oh, right. Oh, I didn't think about that. Right. In the movie, they do, or in the video, they do start floating up. Oh, wild. Wild. Yeah, man. A lot of performers and, you know, people that are artists have wild premonitions, and it comes out in their art. Whether they know it or not, maybe they do, maybe they don't. I know a lot of stuff that comes out of my mouth that freaks me out. I don't know where the heck comes from. All right. It's still there. So, can we manifest a better outcome? I think we already have. I think we already have. Because we're a cool-ass group of people. You know he is. See the chevron? The space in between. There we are. I haven't even been home from work. Oh, shoot. There they are. There they are. The long-nosed one that I used to say Lilith and her dragon. The long-nosed thing that looks more like a dragon. It's the same image. You're just seeing it from different angles. The long nose that we used to call the dragon, that we can call the dragon because it looks like a dragon. From my next video, you're going to see it really looks like a dragon. And in my last video that... Actually, no, I haven't showed that yet. So the next video, you'll see the nose that we're seeing to the far right connect to the sun like it's going to do right now. But anyway, that's the dragon-looking thing. Then behind it is the black square, the Lilith. So this is Lilith and her dragon. But like I said, it's the same image. Maybe that's why people are going underground, Kim, because they can't float up if they're underground, Kim. Did you ever think of that? Yeah, but everything's going to crash down on them. So good luck with that. Stay grounded, stay grounded. Whatever that means. We are, remember, gravity, no, not that. Gravity is a theory and an effect. We are magnetically connected to this planet. So you increase your mass, you increase your connectivity. That's what I would suggest. So maybe buy yourself a weighted suit. I don't know. Have an anchor plan. I don't know, because it's not just us that's going to be floating up. It's anything that can. And then boom, back down. You don't want to be boomed on either. But I don't know that that's going to happen. But you know what? It's a totally feasible thing that no one's addressed for some reason. Yeah, watch that movie Impact. I'm going to try and find it too. I think I actually saw it here on the YouTube. It cost something, but I saw it. It might be worth it. Might watch that tonight. It's beautiful here. fall is here already. It's like it was when I was a kid, and I've said that it's almost like we're having a weather reset to back the way it was when I remember first day of school was the Monday or the Tuesday after Labor Day, and you were wearing your back to school clothes. It was chilly, maybe a little jacket, but then it got like Indian summerish for like 2 decades. So now I think we're back to that chilly little fall. We're in a beautiful fall. All right, guys. Ooh, 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 ooh. See, that's why I think this thing is moving by the sun, because it's on one side, then it's on another. If it hits the sun straight on, it's on both. I think it's an